Hi everybody, welcome to the new year, and it's time for another visit to Hager's Gym. Well, it was a little rainy today, but that's not going to stop us. So, I'm going to start out with some X bar deadlifts. So this is the contraption I have set up for my deadlifts. It's a dump truck tire. I drilled 2 holes in it to put some PVC pipes into it. The PVC pipes have about a 2-inch diameter on them, and that's so I can easily slide Olympic style weights onto them. There are 2 types of weights you can encounter. There'll be one with about a 1-inch diameter hole in the middle, and that's called just standard weights. And then there are weight plates that have 2-inch diameter holes that can be put onto bars that have Olympic style sleeves on the ends. If you ever get into Olympic style weight training, that's kind of the standard. Otherwise, it doesn't really matter what weights you use, and it won't matter doing the style of weight training that we're going to be learning how to do, because this is just plain bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is trying to build yourself up. Weightlifting, of course, is for the Olympics, and that's when you're going to be pitting yourself against people who are truly strong and really kind of explosive and dynamic and coordinated and all that. Don't worry, you don't have to be explosive, dynamic, or coordinated to do bodybuilding. It doesn't matter. But we're going to focus on lifting weights that aren't going to destroy us. They're going to help us build muscle. So this contraption is for hex bar deadlift. Now, hex bar is you might see these around at a very well-equipped gym. It's got a kind of it's kind of like a regular bar, except there's a space inside of it. It's got a frame, and there are 2 sleeves, or 2, bar ends on the end where you load the weights, and you can get inside it, and there's handles on the sides, so that instead of having to kind of move a bar around your knees, which is a standard deadlift, you can step inside it and not have to worry. This can help you keep your center of gravity right over the weight and not have to worry about bending your back in some strange ways. So, this 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, that's my goal for today. That's 1 set of 11 repetitions. I'm going to do another set, 2 sets of 11 repetitions. I'm getting close to the point where I'm going to move up in weight. I've got 2 45-pound plates here, and let's see, that's a 5-pound. So that would be 80, 90 pounds. So I'm going to move up. I think I'm going to try and add 10 pounds to it. So instead of having 2 5-pound plates, I'll put 2 10-pound plates. Take off the 5s, add 10s. And once I've done that, my new goal will be for 8 repetitions. What I'm using is a technique called double progression. That is where, for any given weight, you want it to be difficult enough that you can only do about 8 to 12 repetitions. That's the standard bodybuilding range. If your repetitions get lower than that because the weight is so heavy, to the point where you can do maybe only 3 to 6 or 7 repetitions, that's starting to get into weight that is truly heavy for you. And that is more in line with building strength. If you're bodybuilding, you're trying to force the muscles of the body to get larger. Strength, on the other hand, you're gonna be kind of forcing your whole central nervous system and your tendons and ligaments and all of that into play. Usually, you're going to be using explosive movements, trying to power that weight up because it's truly heavy. That is not necessarily going to make the muscles grow larger. It's a funny thing, you know, but that's just the way it is. Your body's very conservative, and if it has truly heavy demands placed on it, it might decide, for example, that it's better to hang on to the fat reserves that you have. Because if your body thinks it's in danger, which truly heavy weights kind of have that effect, your body will start to try and build more muscle, but it also might hold on to more fat, depending on your metabolism. But as I get older, I find that the power movements and the strength range is tougher on my joints, and it's tougher on me in general. As I get older, I find that a bodybuilding range, 8 to 12 repetitions, maybe 2 sets, maybe 3. That's the most sensible. That has the best chance of building me up rather than breaking me down. And so, but maybe you're asking yourself, well, why should I do a deadlift at all? Well, the reason why is that deadlifting is a very productive exercise. If you're like me, you don't have a lot of time in your day. If you deadlift, you're pulling weight off the ground with your whole body. The weight is being held in your hands, but all your arms are being activated. You're going to have to activate your traps. You're going to have to activate, your lats, everything. Your body, the muscles of your legs, your quads, your hamstrings, everything. And if it's heavy enough, if the weight's heavy enough, it's going to be genuinely taxing. That gives you a lot of bang for the buck. Nobody really wants to spend a lot of time in the gym unless it's where you socialize. If you're there to be productive, consider adding the deadlift to what you do. Start off with low weights at first. Maybe even just an empty bar, just to learn the movement. If you have a setup like this, or a hex bar, you can start out, with some extra weight, because it's not going to be a very difficult movement to learn. But just a straight bar can be a tricky movement to learn. And I'll show you that another time. This, or perhaps the, if there's a hack squat machine, or if there is a leg press machine, that's also good. I would use those as, depending on which is, depending on what doesn't aggravate your back. The key thing with leg exercises is you don't want to aggravate your back. Of course, if you have a history of back injury, you'll want to talk to a doctor first. You're going to want to make sure that you get approval for this sort of thing, because the doctor might tell you, well, look, you just need to concentrate on doing leg extensions or leg curls, those type of movements, because I want to keep, he or she might say, I want you to keep your lower back out of it completely, in which case, do that. But get another set in here. So, as I'm performing the exercise, I'm going to go for 11 again. I want to get my butt way down. I want to get it at or below parallel. If the tops of my thighs are hitting at or below parallel to the ground, I'll know that I am getting a good range of motion. You don't want to do a quarter squat. This would be a quarter squat. That's only going a little bit down. I've still got this angle on my quads here. That means that I'm not truly working. Your body really starts working for some reason when you're at parallel or a little below. So so I want to get my butt way down. Then I want to keep my back straight. I want to look up. Don't look down while you're doing deadlifts. 2, 3. Tighten your core. 4. Push your belly out. 5. By tensing it. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. Now, I'm activating every muscle in my body, really, to do that. I'm activating the muscles in my shoulders, in my traps, my back muscles. I have to consciously activate my back muscles. The one thing you'd never want to do when you're using weights is you don't want to have weights just hanging from your body with no muscle active. You want to activate your muscles, because if your muscle is just hanging onto a weight, that's like pulling your muscle. And if anything goes wrong, you can have a torn muscle. But if you activate everything first and get your body and consciously make yourself aware of, now's the time to push. Now's the time. Your body will be ready to handle the weight that you put on it. Otherwise, it'll be like, I don't know, trying to grab onto a revolving door in a department store and just get, pulled. You can pull your back, you can pull a muscle, you can mess yourself up. So, that's the thought for the day. Make sure your muscles are active when you put strain on. I mean, the hex bar deadlift, or the dump truck tire deadlift, is a leg exercise, yes. But every muscle that's attached to whatever you're lifting, it has to be activated. All right, so please consider adding deadlifts or squats, or a leg press, or a hack squat machine prep, a leg movement to your workout. If I were you, I wouldn't leave it just one leg day. I know popular bodybuilder splits have one leg day. However, it is very, very difficult for somebody who is a beginning trainee, or even an experienced trainee who is not really used to pushing themselves, to have an effective bodybuilding split. Because you have to have, if you have one leg day, that means you really have to hammer your legs on that day. And you only have one day to do it. If you do what I'm doing, you have a roster of about 10 exercises that you do 3 times a week. And that means that you don't need to smash yourself just on one day. You can spread it out and make sure you get a full leg workout through the week. That's also what I'd recommend. So, thank you very much for joining me at Hager Gym, and stay healthy in the new year.